afternoon and namaste, everyone. Welcome to Yoga with Anna here at PCS&M, 63 Washington Street in Weymouth Landing. Welcome to Yoga with me as we do our midweek reset. I am by myself today. Well, not really. I have to stand behind the camera, but I'm yogaing by myself today. But I know that from afar there are people watching, tuning in, and if not now, they will tune in later, which is wonderful about this practice because it's being recorded and you can catch it anytime on the PCS&M YouTube channel. So, wow, what a day for Wednesday. I don't know about everybody else, but it's been a pretty unexpected kind of Wednesday, I guess you could say. Lots of things coming from different angles, and you wake up kind of thinking that your day is going to turn out one way, and it's turning out to be another way. And I think that one of the things that really reminded me of that, of having this kind of day, is that thank goodness for the breath, right? Because if it wasn't for breath, I would probably, or we could easily go into a panic. So for those of you who do breath work or have been doing breath work or have a yoga practice that, where we use our breath often, we begin to tap into the breath, and as life happens and our breath begins to shift because of these practices, we begin to develop an awareness. We develop an awareness of our entire body, of how our body is working, of how our body is feeling, and that's what's beautiful about this practice. So when you begin to feel, things start to get thrown at you, unexpected things, and your breath starts to shift, or something happens and you have to present yourself and be present, you have to really catch your breath. And these practices really help you to become aware of when you shift, when your breath shifts, when your emotions shift, so you can tap into your breath and begin to shift your breath from going to a fight, flight, or freeze state into a calmer state. So fight, flight, or freeze, so our nervous systems, a lot of us live in a very rattled type of nervous system because there's stuff going on all the time. I think it's natural for us to come into this place where, the nervous system shifts into this place. It's when this shift into the fight, flight, or freeze state is consistent in your life, where you're constantly at this erratic place and very sensitive and have anxiety and worried, and you're up here, and we're not meant to function here, because we're not hunters and gatherers anymore. Hunters and gatherers were constant in a state of fight, flight, or freeze, fight, flight, because they always had to be on the lookout of they didn't know what was around the corner, right? We kind of know what's around the corner. Our lives have completely shifted, and we still have this state, but living in this place of altered nerves can really be detrimental to the body. So sometimes people don't realize that they live in this place until they start, breathing practices, or really noticing, or somebody maybe brings their attention that they're highly stressed, and high stress situations or high stress in general can really welcome illness into the body. So these kind of practices, even once a week, calming the mind, calming your nervous system with the breath, become very important because it's all about the self-care. Again, if you're not filling your own cup, how can you fill the cup of others? As the Self Care Doula, I do bring these practices with me for you, and I'm so happy to share that we can come to a homeostasis, a place of harmony together. And that I'm always here to guide you, whether I'm on or off camera. If you have any questions, or if you agree or disagree with me, comment below. Let us know. Let us know how you're doing. Tell us what you're feeling. Tell us how you're feeling. Tell us how these practices work for you. So these yoga practices can be adjusted. They can be done in a chair, modified, or they can be done on a mat. And so I don't want anyone to feel like they can't come to this practice. Just like anybody can access their breath, breath can be accessed in a chair, in bed, on a mat. And of course, we have our wonderful Matt, who has every Tuesday at 11 has his breath work class here at PCSNM. And you can always tap into his breath work as well, where he coaches you through different meditations where you can access and learn how to use your breath and different breathing techniques. And then I'm here on Wednesdays, moving our body and incorporating breath work as we move. So let's sit up nice and tall and begin to tap into our breath. Find a comfortable seat. And begin to relax the body and take the breath in and out the nose. If it helps to bring in a nice big sigh, exhaling through the mouth, you can do that, taking a nice deep breath in and sighing it out. Releasing any tension through the exhale, leaving behind any of the chaos that has happened up to this point so you can give yourself this nice hour all to yourself. Inviting you to soften your gaze or close your eyes. In this practice, I absolutely love slowing us down. The emphasis on life's chaos is too much for our nervous systems. And it's these practices that are really gifts for us to tap into. They are here for you. And that's what's beautiful about this organization. That provides support for you through the many branches that we offer. Allow your shoulders to soften, your hands to relax on your lap. So one of the things that we are doing here by tapping into our breath and slowing it down is we're strengthening our immune systems. Right now there's a lot of stuff going around. So slowing down, accessing your breath, feeding your body fresh oxygen is a way we strengthen our bodies and strengthen our immune systems. Believe it or not, our immune systems cannot be strengthened while they are in an altered state, a fight or flight state. Our body heals and restores itself in its most relaxed state. That's why they say sleep is so good for you, because you repair and restore during your sleep. So let's take a moment here to set an intention for our practice this afternoon. If you're just joining in, welcome. We are going to tap into raising our vibration through movement and breath. usually I have you settle in and swallow at the back of your throat after your intention. But come back to your breath and keeping your eyes closed. We're going to take some breaths in. Take some nice deep breaths in and out the nose or in and out the mouth. Maybe a forceful sigh. And then we're going to begin to take one breath in, but we're going to divide it into 3 parts. Okay, so we're going to do 3-part breath. So taking a nice breath in into the bottom of the lung. Second breath in, mid-lung, and third breath in. All part of the same breath at the top of the lung, and one slow, nice exhale. Inhale, bring it to the bottom of the lung. So not a really deep inhale, so you can allow your breath to move into the midsection of the lung and then the top of the lung. And exhale. As you are bringing in 3 parts into one breath, bring your awareness down to the Mula Bandha or the root lock, which is the perineum. And as you inhale, lift the pelvic floor. Second inhale, third inhale, and exhale out. Let it all go, let the pelvic floor go. Nice deep breath in to the bottom of the lung, pulling the pelvic floor up, mid-lung, top of the lung, and exhale it all out. We're going to do that a few more times, taking a nice deep breath in 3 sections. Inhaling in, second inhale, third inhale, exhale it all out. Release the pelvic floor, inhale, lifting the pelvic floor, second inhale, third inhale, and exhale it all out. A few more times. Last breath here. And if your eyes are closed, maybe fluttering your eyes open, swallowing at the back of your throat. And just taking a moment here to notice how you feel. If you're doing this breath, leave a comment below. Let me know how it felt for you. Let me know if you need any more guidance too. I'm always here. So tap into these resources, tap into me, because I'm always here to lend my breath to you so that we can harmonize ourselves. All right, so nice deep breath in, full breath. Exhale it out. Soften the shoulders, and then take another deep breath in, and we're going to move the torso around the pelvic bowl. Smooth the body. So if at any point you're uncomfortable, you can uncross the legs and switch sides, or you can just find your sweet spot with your sweet seat. sweet spot. Sweet, I dare you to say that 3 times. Around and around we go. And then let's move in the opposite direction. And then come to center. From here, take a nice deep breath in. Extend the arms next to you. Extend the fingertips. Lengthen through the crown. Ground in through the fingertips. Then on your next breath, ground that left hand in. Right arm's going to reach over the right ear. Nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, bring that left arm up and over. Inhale, switch sides. Exhale, opposite side over. And then inhale that left arm back by your side. Let's reach back, reach behind us, fingertips at the earth, and press the heart forward, shoulders back. Maybe taking the gaze up to the sky. And then gently bringing the gaze back to center and releasing the arms. Let's take that right ear to the right shoulder. You can even extend that left arm if that feels good to get into that left side of the neck, or reach back, or you can even take your arm behind you as you take the right ear to the right shoulder. All up to you. So as we're doing this, just notice if your shoulder is reaching up towards the ear, allow the shoulder to relax and draw down away from the ear. Let's bring our head back to center. Left arm comes back to your lap, and then let's take the right ear to the right shoulder. Extend that right arm out, maybe tenting the fingertips. Again, noticing if you're bringing that left shoulder up and allowing it to relax. Maybe taking that right arm back a little further just to notice where that tightness in the neck is, or maybe bringing that arm behind you. Wherever your arm is, let's release, bring the head back to center. Let's take the chin to the chest. And then gently bring the chin parallel to the floor, no circles, for gentle cervical spine movement. And then going the opposite direction. And then bring yourself back to center. All right, so bring the hands in front of you and come into a tabletop if you're coming onto your mat. We're going to get into some spinal movement. Let's stack the shoulders over the wrists, the hips, over the knees, and begin to warm up the spine. On the inhale, dropping the belly, going into cow pose, taking the gaze up to the sky. On the exhale, you're going to tilt the tail in, chin's going to move towards the chest, and you're going to round in. Inhale, drop the belly, take the gaze up to the sky, tilting the tail. Exhale, round in, tucking the tail, chin to chest. Let's continue. Syncing the breath with the movement. Noticing what you're feeling, maybe in the spine or anywhere else in the body. Maybe you're feeling your hips today. So we'll send some love to those areas where you're feeling a little bit of discomfort. Let's take another rounded breath after this exhale. Inhaling, dropping the belly, taking the gaze up, and exhaling, tucking the tail, rounding in. Beautiful. All right, so from here, coming back to tabletop, neutral spine, we're going to shift our hips and move them in a circular motion. So on the next breath, begin to circle the hips around. And if you feel like curling your toes under, feel free to explore that. Maybe give your feet a stretch. And if you haven't gone in the opposite direction, you can shift. And then let's uncurl the toes. If you've curled the toes under, shift the hips back, extend the hands forward, come into a child's pose. An option here to take a wide-legged child's pose if that's more comfortable for you. Resting the forehead on the mat. Extending the arms forward and shifting the hips back towards the heels. All right, so we're going to open up the shoulders. We're going to take in child's pose. We're actually going to take that right hand and bring it underneath the left arm and allow yourself to gently take that lean and bring the gaze over to the left side. Now you don't have to lay your head on the floor. You can even rest your head on a pillow or a block. So I should always remind you to keep your props handy. So this is a gentle way to lean into the shoulder. So don't feel like you have to drop your head, but you can if it reaches all the way down. I'm just going to peek under my arm so I can see you. And then extend that left arm forward. Now I can really take a peek under my arm. Nice deep full breaths, filling the belly. And maybe shifting the hips back slightly so that you can feel it in the shoulder. Inhale, gently lifting back up, extending back into child's pose. Shifting the hips back for a nice stretch. And then gently guiding that left arm underneath the right. And slowly taking that descend. Again, take your time. You don't have to reach the mat right away. Sometimes it takes a little time for your body to adjust. And then you can just see how it feels to slowly bring the head down. No rush. Again, you can shift the hips back or a little forward just to get a little movement to see how that feels in the shoulder. And you might not feel anything at all. Just play with the movement a little bit, whatever feels good to you. Nice deep breath in. Slow exhale out. On the next breath, let's gently begin to lift and bring that left arm forward and take that bow into child's pose. Let's begin to bring those hands towards the knees. Again, let me adjust my mat. So hands are going to walk towards the knees. Knees are going to come closer together as we come back into our tabletop. All right, let's take a nice little flow here. On the inhale, right arm's going to reach up, and exhale, we're going to weave it through. Inhale, arm reaches high. Exhale, weave it through. Inhale, arm reaches high. Exhale, weave it through. This time, as you reach high, lift the palm to take that palm behind you. So instead of facing forward, you're taking that palm back. So you're rotating the shoulder, rotating the arm. And then if it feels good, you can reach back behind you and bring the arm to the hollow, and then take that right shoulder back. So if you can reach behind you to take a bind, you can do that to open up the shoulder a little bit more. And then let's release the bind. Arm can come all the way back up, or you could leave the arm up, and then we're going to float that arm down, and then reach back up. Reach back, and then float it back down. All right, so from here, we're going to do the opposite side. Inhale that left arm up. Exhale, weave it through that right arm, and then inhale. Exhale, weave it through. Inhale. Nice deep breath. Exhale, weave it through. One more reach. And then flip the palms. We're rotating the arm, reaching behind us, maybe at the hollow of the back, or taking a bind, and then reaching that left shoulder back. And then stay nice and aligned. So notice that I was shifting to the left, which the body can easily do. Bring yourself back and open up. So back to your table, and then open up that left shoulder. Nice deep breath in as we release. Bring that arm back up if it's not up already, and float it back through underneath that right arm. Let's reach back up and float it back down. All right, let's take some hip circles. So really, option for you to move the hips however it feels good to you. So you can take a figure 8 all the way around. Or you can just gently sway side to side. All right, so from here, let's curl the toes under. We're going to lift into a downward facing dog. Let's walk our dog. Press the hips towards the thighs. Gazing towards the ankles. Inhale, lift the heels high. Bend the knees and take the knees into a hover. Then switch the gaze between the hands, and we're going to walk our feet to meet our hands at the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, coming to a half lift. Let's stay here for a moment. Soft bend in the knees, pull the navel in, shoulders back. And then let's root to rise, come all the way back up. Palms touch, and palms come to heart. All right, so at the top of the mat, I'm going to face forward. And you can be right here at the top of the mat, but I'm going to face forward just so I can be in front of the camera. Let's inhale, arms come up. Let's touch the palms together and bring them to heart. Standing mountain. Then reach up again. Reach back. And then from here, come back to center. Interlace the finger, pointer finger releases. Take a nice arch over to the left side. And then inhale, come back to center. Just a gentle arch over to the right side. Inhale, come back to center. And gently take the head back. Pull the navel in. Maybe reaching back. Not too far, so I'm not going really into my back bend. Just a slight back bend. And then we're going to gently bend the knees. Forward fold slowly. Inhale, hands on the shins. Exhale, plant those palms. Step back with both feet. Come into plank or modified plank and come all the way down to your belly. All right, we're on our bellies, shoulders underneath the shoulders, hands underneath the shoulders, and our feet are in a flat position. I see a lot of people that curl their toes under in Cobra, but you really want to keep your feet flat. As you inhale, so bring the chin to the mat, and as you inhale, hands are underneath the shoulders. You're going to press all 10 toes in. Unclench the buttocks. So there's so much that is happening that sometimes we don't notice that this begins to tighten. So you want to stay nice and loose in that center. Press the 10 toes in as you inhale. Gently lift the heart up. And then exhale, lower. Extend the arms into a T. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lower. Hands come back underneath the shoulders. Inhale, press 10 toes in and lift. And lower. Extend the arms into a T, 10 the fingers. Inhale, lift. And lower. All right, so hands come back. But bring them to your side. Let the left cheek touch the mat. Allow yourself to just gently rest. And then let's bring the chin back to center. And we're going to do full locust. So we're going to, on the inhale, we're going to lift the entire body. So take a nice deep breath in. We're going to lift the entire body off the mat. Legs are going to lift. Chest is going to lift. Arms are going to rise. Fly like a plane or fly like Superman. Then you're going to, if you want to, reach back, lift the heart a little bit more on the in-breath. And exhale, lower down. You can take that right cheek to the mat and rest. All right, so a nice deep breath in. Bring the chin back to center. And another breath in as you gently lift everything up. Arms reach back. Maybe they reach to the side or forward. Nice deep breath in. Lift the chest one more time. Lift the legs and lower. Take that left cheek to the mat. All right, so from here, let's gently curl the toes under, come to a tabletop. Curl the toes under again, come to down dog. Walk your dog. And then we're going to walk our hands towards our feet, heel toe the feet to the edge of the mat. Take that right hand to the left ankle and gently take that bow. Getting into that hamstring. Release and opposite side. Left hand to right ankle. Nice deep breath in as you lengthen and exhale, folding over towards that right thigh. All right, so from here we're going to come to center and we're going to bring those heels inward. We're going to go into a low squat. So remember, you can use your blocks or a pillow to support your squat. If there's a challenge where the hips are limited to coming all the way down, you can stay right here in this position and lift the chest. And although there's a lot of tension in the hips, you can support by putting blocks in front of you to lift. So I'm just going to show you. That's why I always say keep your blocks close by. But in this case, because we're at the back of the mat, I'm going to reposition myself so my feet are hip distance, or not hip distance, they're at the width of the mat. The heels are inward, toes pointing outward. I'm going to stack my blocks and then shift the hips down. And then you can lift the chest, and this is your squat. Otherwise, you want to lower all the way down, hands at the heart center. Maybe take a little sway. Sandy, if you're doing this practice with us, you can go into crow. So this is another position. I'm not going to do it, but you can take your hands down and shift forward and lift your feet up. But I'm not going to get into a balancing pose. I'm going to stay in Malasana squat. But anybody is welcome to play with that transition. Little sway back and forth. And then let's place the hands back in front of us, gently shifting the hips back up, heel toe, your feet back, 2 hip distance apart, and forward fold. All right, from here, inhale, hands come up to the shins, come into your flat back, and let's root to rise, come all the way back up. Allow the palms to touch, and palms come to heart. All right, let's take a walk. Let's shift the weight to that left leg, lift that right leg up, flex the foot, extend it, shift forward, and take a walk. We're going to go into warrior 3. Lift that left leg up, flex the foot, take a little step, and then we're going to shift forward, take a hinge, and go into warrior 3. So again, if you wobble out just like me, you just get back in. It's just practice. Our balance is different every day. Extend that right leg back. And if you want to play with the balance, you can reach your arms forward. But keeping your hands at the heart center does stabilize the balance. Lower down, bring that right foot to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, coming to your half lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back with both feet. Modified plank or full plank, come all the way down to your belly. Hands underneath the shoulders. Nice deep breath in as you lift. Press 10 toes in for your cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift again. Press all 10 toes in. Lift a little higher maybe, and then lower down. Curl the toes under. Lifting into table. And then shifting to down dog. Walk your dog. And then you're going to walk your hands to meet your feet. Forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, coming to your half lift. And then let's root to rise. Come all the way back up. Palms touch. Palms come to heart. All right, so we're going to do that again on the opposite side. Shifting the weight to that right leg. Lifting that left foot. Flexing the foot and stepping forward. Shifting the weight, bringing that right leg up, flex the foot, stepping forward, and here we go. We're going to shift forward, hinge forward, left leg lifts, reach back, strong standing leg, and when you're ready, pulling in that navel, staying nice and strong, reaching forward, and then maybe bringing those hands, if they've shifted from the heart, back to the heart, and then lower down, bring that back foot to meet the front, and forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, coming to your half lift. Exhale, plant those palms, step back with both feet. Modified plank or full plank, and then lower all the way down. All right, from here, chin to the mat. Inhale, cobra, hands underneath the shoulders, press all 10 toes in, and lift the heart. And then lower down. Inhale, press all 10 toes in again. Lift the heart, tuck the elbows. Bhujangasana, cobra pose, and lower down. Inhale, come back to table, shift to a child's pose, and then walk the hands towards your knees. Inhale, everything rises, arms come up, hips come up, reach back. And we're going to take a gentle bow, sweep the arms back. Inhale, reach up to the sky and back. And exhale, take that bow. Inhale, reach back up. And exhale, take that bow. Inhale, reach back up. Right hand goes to left wrist. Inhale, lengthen. Take an arch over to the right side. Come back to center. Switch sides. Inhale, lengthen. And arch over to the left. Come back to center. And from here, float the arms down. Roll the shoulders. All right. Let's come back to tabletop. Curl the toes under, lift the hips high, down dog. Inhale, right leg high, bend the knee, and circle the hip. Take it in the opposite direction. One more circle, extend long. And then from here, let's bend the knee again and stack that hip. Extend long and bring it all the way down. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, left leg rises, bend the knee, and circle the hip. And take it in the opposite direction. Extend long, then bend the knee again, stack the hip. Come back to center, extend that leg long, bring it back down, shift to plank or modified plank. All right, so in plank or modified plank, we're going to pivot those heels. And in modified plank, we're going to bring one knee down and pivot the heels, and we're going to open up on the left side. So the knee helps support the side plank, otherwise you're in side plank, and those hips are going to reach up towards the sky, pull the navel in, float that arm back down, come back to your plank or modified plank, and then we're going to shift to the other side. Again, you can bring that knee down or keep it up, open up to the right side. Shift those hips to the sky and float that arm down. Come back to your plank, lower the knees, shift the hips back. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, take a bow. Arms forward, come to your table, curl the toes under, shift to down dog. Nice deep breath in, maybe hawing it out the mouth. Press the heart towards the thighs, gaze between the ankles. Walk your dog. Come back to center, lift both heels high, bend the knees, take a hover a few inches above the mat. Then shift again to down dog. And then let's take the gaze between the hands as we shift back into plank or modified plank. Pivot those heels to the right side. Inhale, left arm rises high. Lower down, shift sides. And open up to the right side. Now you can get fancy here and come into a full balance. So let's lower that right arm down, shift the knees down to the mat, and come into a child's pose again. And then gently come back to tabletop, adjusting your knees under your hips. So take a moment here, readjust yourself, realign yourself, curl the toes under, bring the hips back to downward facing dog. And then we're going to walk the feet to meet the hands at the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins for your half lift, and then let's reach and rise, come all the way back up. Palms touch, palms come to heart. So one of the things that I wanted to say was that you can make this practice as gentle as you want or as challenging as you want. So it's really up to you. I am just your guide. And we're just taking a moment here to settle into our breath. All right, let's come into chair pose. Inhale, arms come up parallel to the ears. Let's sit in our chair. Tuck the tail, sit a little lower, shift the weight to the heels, ground those toes. Lift the chest. Then we're going to bring that right arm down across the body. Bring it over the left knee. We're going to open up to the left side. And then we're going to shift back to center. Right arm lifts back. We're back in chair. Tuck the tail. Left arm's going to reach across the body. We're going to open up to the right side. Bring that left arm back up. Body comes back to center. Come back into your chair pose. Tuck the tail. Pull the navel in. Lift the chest. Hands come together and to heart. Forward fold. Let it go. Bend one knee after the other. Inhale, let's bring the hands to the shins, and then let's bring both hands to the mat. Step back with both feet, plant the knees, and then shift the hips back. Shift the hips to one side and swing the legs around. Let's come onto our backs. So usually, all depends up to you. So we can just lie down on our backs, or you can challenge the core and pull the navel in and take a slow descend, And you may want to scoot your bottom to the middle of the mat and then try again. And then bring the knees to chest, a little rock side to side. All right, full body stretch. Let's extend the legs, arms over the head. Nice stretch. Bring that right knee to chest. Squeeze in, flex the foot, when removing pose. And then bring that knee towards the right shoulder. And actually, let's release that left arm. Bring it to a half T and allow that right leg to gently drift to the right side. Flex both feet. Bring it back to center. Take a nice squeeze. And full body stretch, arms over the head. Reach for that left knee, squeeze in. Flex both feet. Draw that knee towards the left shoulder. And then take that right arm to a half T and allow that knee to relax to the left side. Maybe flex both feet here. And then gently guide it back to center. A nice squeeze back in. And a full body stretch. All right, so let's thread the needle going into supine, we're going into supine pigeon. So let's take that right ankle to the top of the left thigh. And we're going to flex the foot. Then our hands are going to reach through our legs, interlace the fingers underneath that left thigh, flex both feet, slightly tuck the chin, and gently begin to pull that left thigh towards you. So in order to maybe open that hip or feel a little bit more of a stretch on this side, you can pressure that right elbow into the right leg gently as you pull. Breathing normally.
Notice if you can pull that leg a little bit closer as the muscles begin to relax. And then let's lower that left leg as we unbind the hands, and then take that ankle, that right ankle, and cradle that right leg, a little side to side action. And then let's release. Opposite side. Bring that left ankle to the top of the right thigh. Allow that hip to gently open, that left hip. Weave the hands through the legs, interlace the fingers underneath that right thigh, flex both feet, and begin to gently pull that right leg towards you. Use your breath here. Last breath. And gently, let's bring that right foot down to the mat. Cradle that left leg, holding it by the ankle and supporting the knee, and gently rocking side to side. And then let's release, bring both knees to chest, give a nice tight squeeze. So tight, 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 tight squeeze. Maybe binding the hands to the elbows and squeezing in and releasing, full body stretch. Bring your arms into a T, palms down, bend the knees, maybe bring them to the width of the mat, and allow the knees to windshield wiper side to side. We're going to take a little twist here as we move the hips side to side. Let's bring the knees over to the right side. That right ankle can come to the top of the left thigh, and then take the gaze over to the left side. And let it go. Allow the hips to relax. And you can flex that right foot if it feels good, or take a little rotation of the ankle. Gently begin to release that right leg from the left thigh, and come back to the mat to windshield wiper the legs back and forth, side to side. Now let's let those knees fall over to the left side. Bring that left ankle to the top of the right thigh. Take the gaze over to the right side and take that twist. Let it go through the exhale. So notice that it's towards the end of class where we really begin to feel that relaxation through the body, that reset that we needed. And boy, we needed it today. Let's release that left ankle from the top right thigh. Bring the knees back to the mat. Bring the feet back to the mat. And then windshield wiper the knees back and forth again. And then bring the legs, the feet to the width of the mat. And then allow the knees to gently fall inward. Bring the feet about hip distance apart. Bring the knees to chest. Take a nice squeeze in and full body stretch. All right, you know you want happy baby. So we're going to bring the knees towards the chest, grab the outsides of the feet or peace finger your toes and open the hips. Begin to rock side to side. Find the happiest baby. And if you don't feel like doing this, you could just take the legs up to the sky. And you can take a block to support the bottom, the low back, and lift the hips high. This is also great for calming the nervous system. Arms can come above the head or can stay in a T. I'm going to bring my arms over the head just because it feels so good. Nice deep breaths here. If you're ever having trouble sleeping, this position, legs up the wall, can definitely support your sleep. I always encourage 7 minutes for 7 days and see how that goes. It worked for me, maybe it can work for you. And actually, I was recommended that exercise through yoga therapy because I was going through bouts of insomnia, which are not healthy. And so my yoga therapist invited me to try this for 7 minutes for 7 days. And lo and behold, I was able to sleep like a baby. So anytime I begin to have those bouts of insomnia, I come back to this practice. So that's one of the ways that yoga therapy can help is, when you have individualized, issues or things that you're, moving into or having problems with in your life or your body, yoga therapy can really help by really giving you practices individualized to you, catered to you. All right, so let's bring our arms by our side if they're not there already. Let's remove the block or bring the legs all the way down. Take a nice full body stretch. And then lower your arms by your side. Any last wiggles that you want to take. Shifting into your Shavasana. And I'm going to invite you to stay here for as long as you like, relaxing the body. Allowing the shoulders to relax. Your legs can be in any position. You can even butterfly your feet, your legs, bringing the soles of the feet together to take Shavasana that way. Allow the palms to face up to the sky. You can even tuck the shoulders underneath the body and notice how that feels as it broadens the collarbone. Creating more space for the heart and the lungs. Inviting you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Letting your toes fall open. Coming back to your intention. Letting it all go. So again, you can stay here as long as you like. I'm going to begin to transition back into seated, rolling over to one side and gently pressing up so I can close our class. You're also welcome to roll over to begin to wake up your body by wiggling your toes and your fingers. Or by all means, give yourself the permission to stay where you are.
holding space for you. If you continue in your Shavasana, I'm going to bring my hands to the heart center in Anjala Mudra. And seal clasp by bringing my prayer hands up to my third eye as a reminder to think kind thoughts, down to our lips as a reminder to speak kind words, and back down to my heart, our hearts, as a reminder to live a life full of love, joy, courage, and lots of grace, and lots of patience. From my heart to yours, I deeply bow to you in gratitude. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Please leave a comment below and let us know what you think of this yoga practice, what you thought, what your thoughts are, or what you need, so that I know what you need. And namaste. Thank you so much.